it's Jess. Welcome back to the Not Carrie Bradshaw YouTube channel. We finally made it to season 2, episode 1 of House of the Dragon. I'm going to be really honest with you. After watching that finale the other day, this season left a lot to be desired. There was a lot of exposition with no real climax. That's triggering. I don't like it. So let's get right into episode 1. Jace made it to Winterfell. I was so happy to see Winterfell as it is my ancestral home. And he is treating with the Starks to see if they will support Rhaenyra's claim. The thing about the North is always really about the North first. Like, they're kind of like their own kingdom. They operate differently from the people in the South, right? And he's trying to explain to them, to Jace, that, like, listen, there are things beyond the wall other than wildlings, other than just the impending awful winter. Like, this is just a light snow. This ain't shit. And, like, there's a reason why even dragons won't cross the wall. Like, death marches on the wall. They've always known about the White Walkers on some level, right? Because this is so long before we actually, like, meet the Night King in Game of Thrones, but the Starks are aware, you know, like the North knows and the North be remembering or whatever. So he's like, listen, I can give you some graybeards. They're well fought. They fight like Northerners, because like Northerners ain't no hoes. So I'm gonna send you them, and that's all we can really do for you. And then at that point, he receives the news about Luke via Raven. You know, I got a little text message or whatever. So Rhaenys pulls back up to Dragonstone, and Daemon is like, baby, you need to get back in the car. We about to go ride on King's Landing. And Rhaenys is like, Rhaenyra ain't told us to do nothing, so you might want to calm down. And Daemon is like, baby, you should have killed the Greens when we had the chance, and the fact that you didn't do that makes me suspicious of you. How I know you ain't in cahoots with them. Daemon basically doesn't trust anybody that didn't immediately murder that whole family, like, on sight. And it's like, Daemon, everybody not crazy like you. Like, let's temper our choices here. And Rhaenys is like, first of all, you don't tell me what to do. I don't even know you or like you like that, so you can't really tell me what to do. That's number one. And number two, he's making it seem like Rhaenyra is shirking her responsibilities as queen. Meanwhile, Rhaenyra is mourning the death of her baby. And Rhaenys is like, she's going to look for evidence of her child, okay? Like, she needs closure. And she was saying that, like, when her baby died, she couldn't rest until she had that closure, until she saw some evidence. Like, you remember your ex-wife who died, my daughter? Like, calm your ass down. Like, you don't run that around here. I love me some Rhaenys. So Corlys approaches Alan, who is the sailor who rescued him from the waters back when he was at war, when he abandoned Rhaenys. And Alan is like, you know, your ship ain't really ready for repair. This is important for later. Well, no, the ship is under repair and it won't be ready to go out to sea for a while. So whether Corlys decides to help Rhaenyra in her efforts, his ship ain't really ready. She went through some shit like everybody else. So Aegon is being a little ass, and he decides that he should bring Jaehaerys to the small council meeting to torment the Lannister. Why are the Lannisters always a little bit weird? Helena expresses fear, and they try to reassure her, like, girl, ain't nobody gonna do nothing at King's Landing. And she's like, no, I'm afraid of the rats. Helena is I think they call her a dragon seer, but she has like second sight. She has premonitions. She be knowing what be going on. So she did call this accurately, but people don't listen to her because, number one, she's a woman. Number two, she's fragile. So Christian Cole, the OG incel, has been getting it on with High and Mighty Alicent. Okay, you think you're so much better than everybody else, but as soon as you had the opportunity to hop on some new wood when your man died, you absolutely had someone to go to. Like, you were always keeping him around for that, as far as I'm concerned. And I just feel like it was very ironic of her to, like, affix his white cloak as they were going to the small council meeting, like after their little tryst. So Aegon feels very much like, let's go ahead and bring out the big guns, aka the dragons. Let's just go and burn everybody. If we need allegiances from the River Lords, let's just tell them, if you don't join us, we'll kill you. Like, that's it. And Otto and Alicent are encouraging him to, like, let's proceed with caution. Once you bring out weapons of mass destruction, it's like mutually assured destruction. Like, everybody dies when dragons dance. But Aegon is just very much like, I don't get it. Like, he, brain out there. So Aemond has been welcomed to the small council as well. And Aemon is also like a let's bring out the big guns type or whatever. So meanwhile, Loras, with his trifling ass, he done got in Aegon's ear of like, you know, everybody kind of thought your daddy was like very pliable. You need to get your own hand of the king. Don't use your daddy's hand of the king. You need to get your own hand of the king. Start making your own decisions so people don't think that you like your daddy. He's trying to sow dissent between him and Otto. Obviously, he's trying to slide in there for himself. And I don't know what Larys's like end game is. Like, do you think that you're gonna eventually ascend the throne, or are you just an agent of chaos? Like, what's your point? So he also goes to check Alicent about like where she was when he came around looking for her for some more like feet action, I suppose. And Alicent is very much like, you in my business, don't do that. So he tells her like, hey, I figured out who the spies were. I fired all of your staff and I hired new people. But then Alicent is looking at these new people, these new ladies in waiting, like, I don't trust y'all either. As far as I'm concerned, you traded one set of spies for another set of spies because you can't trust Larys. That man killed his own family. So Aegon holds court and he starts making decisions about the small folk. And the problem with Otto is that he prioritizes the nobles so much, not understanding the impact of the small folk being unhappy. Because of Rhaenyra's blockade, the smiths aren't being paid, but the cost of iron is going up. And then you had like the farmers having to make a tithe of a certain amount of livestock so that the dragons can be fed, but then there isn't enough left over for the people. Now, Aegon has enough common sense to say, well, like, King's Landing don't really move without the regular people, so we need to do something to appease them. And Otto was like, baby, sacrifices got to be made. So Alicent confronts Otto about his lack of support of her in the small council meeting. From Alicent's perspective, it's supposed to be me and you, Dad. Like, we supposed to be actually ruling this shit. Like, the other people are puppets. We supposed to be the puppet masters. Like, what you doing? And Otto is like, baby, the only way we gonna survive this is through violence. And Alicent is like, yeah, but it should be minimal. Here's what, Alicent, violence is violence is violence. It don't matter if it's big or small. Like, I don't care if you punch me in the face or stab me. Like, the end result might be different, but you still like struck me, so get out of here. So as part of a ship raid per the blockade, we learned that the White Worm did not die in the fire that Larys set. And again, Daemon thinks that everybody is the enemy. So he accuses the White Worm of being in cahoots with the High Towers. And she's like, these are rich people games. I'm a regular girl. I'm out here trying to survive. The plan was already set in motion. I just found a way to profit from it. So you can't come at me like that. Because at one point, you was with my shit. But now, because you and your little rich family are under attack, I'm supposed to operate differently. And I really like her. Like, she's who I'm quietly rooting for. And so the twin lets Daemon know, like, she really wasn't, he, you know, corroborates her story. So then Daemon accuses him of being a traitor. And he's like, bro, I'm here. I came and, like, pledged fealty to Rhaenyra. Like, what did you talking about? But Daemon is, like, paranoid and accusing everybody. So Jace comes home to deliver the news of like their allegiances and says like what he was able to achieve because he's trying to be very noble. But this is also the first time he's seen his mama since he found out that his brother died. So Rhaenyra found evidence of her baby. She returned to Dragonstone and she's ready to work, and they giving her all these different reports of like how they should move and da-da-da. And Rhaenyra was like, baby, fuck all that. A son for a son. I want Aemon. He took my baby. Now I'm taking hers. Go get me Aemon. So Daemon goes back to the White Worm and it's like, okay, in exchange for your freedom, use your connections to get me into King's Landing so that we can take care of Aemon. This is where everything went wrong. So Daemon sneaks into King's Landing and he plots Aemon's murder with a rat catcher, per Helena's premonition, and a disillusioned gold cloak who hates the High Towers. Now, Aemon and Christian Cole are in cahoots. They're thinking that they should get in Aegon's ear about like really like going to war, like let's, you know, pull out the big guns. And Otto slid through like, I don't know what y'all got going on, but what y'all not gonna do is conspire behind the small council's back. Like, first of all, the Christian Cole, you ain't even got clout like that. Like, you're an upstart, okay? Like, let's cut it out. You're not that girl. You know, you're not even noble. Otto is very elitist. So it's just like, baby, you shouldn't even be here. Okay, like I wouldn't have even chosen you. And he's also telling Aemon, like, Aegon's mind ain't good. his temper is too bad. Yours got to be better. Like, figure this shit out. So once the rat catcher, Blood and Cheese, the rat catcher in the gold cloak, and the dog, we love the dog so much. Oh my gosh, favorite character. We're also rooting for the dog. We're rooting for the white worm, and we're rooting for the dog. And obviously we're Team Rhaenyra. We realize these two people aren't smart. They are not smart. And we also realize that the security in the Red Keep is lacking. Like, why is the king just big boy kicking it in the throne room, wasted off his ass with these other people, and these two people just walk by? Like, I realize that they're just, rat catchers in disguise, but it's also like, y'all at war. Y'all don't want to be more suspicious of people. Like, what is happening in the Red Keep? So they have their orders to look for Aemon, a man with one eye. They don't even quite know how to get to the apartments in the Red Keep. So these two niggas is beefing or whatever. They finally get to Helena's room. And, well, they go to Aemon's room first. Aemon ain't there. He's not there. He's out here running these streets. Maybe he was in the streets of Silk with that older lady, who can say. But he's not even there. So they like, well, shit, let's just find a boy. And they decide that a baby will do. So they make Helena pick one of her sons for them to kill. Helena is already a fragile girl. She is super traumatized by this. So she grabs the baby that she can, runs to Alicent's room. Again, where are the guards? Why wasn't there a guard on Helena's door? Why wasn't there a guard on Alicent's door? Well, I guess it was supposed to be Christian Cole, but they was in there getting it on. And Helena doesn't even care that she walks in on her mama in the act. She's just like, the boy is dead. And that's how the episode ends. And it's just like, there's a lot of moving pieces here. A lot has happened. You can never trust a man to do a job, which is like the overall thing that we learned here, because people be crazy. And that was our season 2 opener. Slide in the comments. Let me know what you guys thought of this episode as the opener. And don't put spoilers, guys, but maybe, I don't know, slide in the comments. Let me know what you thought. Be sure to like and come back for us to discuss episode 2 of season 2. Subscribe, do all the things, let people know we over here talking about House of the Dragon and whatnot, and join my Patreon, because I want to buy my own dragon and I need some money to do so. Okay, it got to be housed, it got to be fed. So support me getting a dragon. Thanks so much. Bye.